Okay, welcome everybody. This is Design 300. It's our lecture for Thursday, December 2nd. We're on a Google Meet and the recording the recording is on. So let's take a look and see what we've got up to go over today. So one thing that I did is I put a join link to the MindMeister team account. A few of you have sent me a request, and I sent an invite to your W at apps.losrios.edu account. And so you should be able to get onto it. Now, you can do everything that I show you on the free personal account that you make, but it's nice to be able to share and see some of the other work that is done, um, which is why it's nice to have on the team account. Okay, so and that's really what I want to do today is go over how you might use MindMeister. Now, just realize that the same thing works with Prezi, works with Google Slides. There's Sutori.com, which is a timeline type thing. There are lots of technologies out there. You could even do it with a website, a Google site. There are a lot of technologies out there for you to choose from. I just happened to pick this one because as you become comfortable with it, it's a really great learning tool for the start of project management. So you can go from these visual project maps to either a project timeline or what they call a Kanban or a note clip view of tasks that you can associate and assign. So the MindMeister just works well as a learning tool for introductory work in project management. So that's why I chose it. So let's take a look and see. First of all, remember what the instructions are. Create a complete review presentation of the material that you have studied in this course. So that means that you're showing somebody else what you've learned, and they can use that to assess your depth and breadth of knowledge. And particularly for future employers, that's a really good thing to be able to show. And so you want to include each topic from the weekly submittal slides, excluding energy analysis, sustainability, and preventing damage. Those are optional. And it should be clear, easy to read, and well annotated. And clear and easy to read usually means that you follow some consistent pattern or format that helps a reader understand where to go to find information. So, clear, easy, and well annotated is all meant to drive you to some well thought out format or pattern to your presentation. So I have suggested a pattern. Let me go back to my MindMeister. These are some of the ones that I have working right now. We'll go to the materials of construction. And we saw this on Tuesday's lecture of how to maybe get started. And I'm going to bring these down just for a moment so that you can see. My suggestion was to start with something like this. And so I'm going to show you how to add the other three, and then I'll remove them so that you can see how to get started. And it's fairly straightforward. To add a relation, that's one of these paths, to an object, you click on it, There I go. I clicked on it and you say add. And it just added a new one down here. So I'll type in the I'll type in energy analysis. That was the next one. And you can go in and you can get them to type. Now there's 3 little bars in the upper right. And if I want to do something to the text, I can make it bigger or smaller. And I can make it bold or light. And then if I want to give it its own background color, I can do that just from the color wheel right here. Okay. Now I might want to add an image. So let me go to, sorry, it's this one right here. Add an image. So I click on it. Let me add an image. So I have to find an image first. Now you'd probably get one from your work, but I'm just going to grab a quick one right here. This looks kind of like an energy analysis thing that we did. Oh, that's a video. You go back there. Bank. I want just plain old images. There's an image. There's an energy analysis. Here's an energy analysis. These are all sort of energy analysis tools that are available. This one really looks like eQuest, doesn't it? That's a YouTube also. So I'll copy that image. And to put it in, I need to actually have that image saved. So let me go and I'm going to open it up big and I'm going to take a snip and I'll save it. So that is one of the things that you need to have the image saved. I can't just cut and paste. So let me put that on my Kingston under images and I'll call it energy. So then when we come back to the images, I can come over here and add an image. And I can use a web image, but I'll upload. And I'll put in from images. Let me go find images. The images energy. And now put that in there. Isn't that cool? Now, the next thing that I suggested is that you really want to have a summary right here. And so you can add comments right here. So here is the summary for energy. It tells the reader the most important items that I learned. And then I just click outside and it shows up. And remember, when you do it in that presentation, it pops out big. So the other thing I might want to do is go to a link. I can do an attachment also, but I might want to link, and sorry, my pointer is big. I might want to link. So where was my energy analysis? Was that week 12? Energy analysis. So I might want to link to that. So you would, of course, link to yours, not to mine. You would link to yours, and you could say, put in a link and paste the URL right there. Now be sure that you have yours set so anyone with the link can view. It would be really annoying for somebody to click on that and then have to get access sometime. So be very careful with those and make sure that you are giving proper access to those. Now you can even input videos if you want. You can upload videos and you can get them from YouTube. If you want to put in some of the YouTubes, you can do so many cool things on here. But you also might want to give this one a number. This one I think is number, let me make it bigger, number 6. And I might want to drag it into another spot. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I went counterclockwise. And that's because AutoCAD goes counterclockwise. You might prefer clockwise. Well, it's not too bad. You can just move them around. And I have 2 of them that are the same. Building envelope should be 4, 5, 6. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how you get going with those. And you can bring them in, put these cool little pictures on, and have a nice one. You might even want a full picture for this, but I don't think that that's necessary. So those are some of the things you can do. You can put icons on. You can add videos, images, or you can add videos. You can assign colors. And to the text, you can do different things with the size. And I think you can even change the color of the text. But I haven't, yeah, here I've got white text. So I chose white as my text. So that's how you change color of the text if that's what you want to do. So that gets you started on how to do these. Click on something and then make it more. So now let's take a look. I've got here, what did we learn about? BEM in architecture, HVAC and design, building performance. So I would want something for each of those. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to add BEM in architecture, right? Because I said we want to follow each of the slides. And I'll make that big and bold. See what I did over here. Yeah, they're big and bold. All of those are big and bold. So big and bold. And then on the background, I'll set the color. Now, I have to go click on my main one again and add my next one. BEM in HVAC. Text, big and bold, background. I might want to even say what BEM is, right? Building energy model. But you could leave it like that and define it in here. What was my next one? BEM in something. Performance ratings. So here I go. I click on my original one. I click on add BEM in building performance ratings. And again, I'm going to make my text big and bold. Now, potentially that's a little too long. You don't want it sticking out so far. So if I get down on, see, there's a little dot over here. If I get on that dot, I can change the size. That's another thing I can do. Okay. Now, each of these might have more information on it that I want to put in. It depends on what I want to do. If we did, oh, and there was one other, but if we had done calculations, which we didn't do, you could have put calculations in here. And if I come back over here, maybe there were drawings. Now, there weren't in this case, so you would leave those off. You want to get rid of one, you can, I think, just come up to this little delete button or click on it and press delete on your keyboard. So that's really what there is to doing this, right? You're going to go to each slide. So the last one is building stock analysis. Building stock analysis. Let me get that one in there. BEM in building stock analysis. Make it large and bold. Give it the right color. And I think I want to turn that one down a little bit. And here I can see that I have a misspell. So I just tap on it and respell it. This is constantly saving. I don't need to click save or anything like that. So that's how you get it going. Isn't that the neatest thing in the world? It's very simple. It's very easy. I can add additional pictures onto each of these. I can do everything that I did to this one here. I can come over to my little marker over here. But every now and then I lose control over it. Here's how to get it into the middle. It's not reacting. There we go. Sometimes I lose it a little bit. You go to advanced, you can do also, there's all sorts of things that you can link to, that you can find out, and you can go back and forth, and it's kind of neat. You can look things up. You can link to email addresses. So there's a lot that you can do here. Okay, so that's how MindMeister works. There's a very simple tool palette. There's add comments. I don't even know what that one is. Oh, that's for likes and dislikes. If you're, this is for actually like commenting on it. This is more like adding a note to it. Links, attachments, and this is for task work. If you're doing tasks, that you can say something is done or not. And that's down here in the Taskmeister. There's your presentation. And there's manage the tasks, which we're not doing. We're not doing any of those. Okay. And so there we go. Next week, I'll demonstrate how to create the presentations. I'll fix one of these up a little bit more. So what should you have done by the end of the week? And you see, this didn't take very long, right? That took maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So my thought is that you can easily make it through these. Now underwater, there was a bunch more to do. So under BEM, I would definitely want to put some things in there. What would I need? So I've clicked on here. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger so I can see. I probably want a summary of BEM of architecture. I'm going to come back to here and I'll add another one. And I think I still want keywords. Remember I said you want to have a pattern, something that makes it easy for somebody to follow what's going on. Keywords and YouTube playlist. Now, it could be that you don't have a YouTube playlist, but I'm setting it up right now. I would go back and look and see if I did. How would I do that? I would go back to my week 12 calendar and look and see what was on the playlist. There was really just a lecture about it, but I could still put that in there. So there was a YouTube playlist that I could put in there. I don't have to put it in yet. I just want to make sure that there was one. And I could look back and see if there were any calculations, and there were not. So I don't need calculations. List to specs, standards, and resources. Yeah, those were definitely there. Here they are right here. This is my material studied. Spec, standards, and resources. So I do want that. Let me come back again. Specs. And maybe you want to change that to, material that was studied. You could bring it in something like that, right? Or specific material that was studied. There were no calculations and there were no drawings. However, I did give you a bunch of things that you could do with the energy analysis. Let's go take a look and see down here. Well, there was a comparison of energy calculations. So you didn't really have to do any calculations, but you might want to put, oops, I got to get into here. Right? You might want to put something down about these. This would be something that you could choose to put in here. So maybe I'll put in comparison of energy calculations of building energy model calculations. Make that one big, big, big. Yep. And you could put your comments or your links or your attachments. Or if you need to, if you have too much to put into there, you can even add more. Add more here if you need to. So that's why each one of these might take you 15, 20, 30 minutes to do. To really get it set up. You're going to look back and see what you've got available. Create your outline. That's what we're talking about. Create your outline. Get the majority of it laid out so that then you know what to go back and put in. It's very quick now to go back and get these. Okay, because I've got my link already. I've put in that link that gets back to my main piece of information. Now, how do I put in the link to a certain page? Go back and say, here's my link to BEM in architecture. This is what's really cool. As long as your sharing says, anyone with this link can view. You can go up to your bar at the top, and that will go to this particular slide. So I'm going to do a Control C or a copy, and I'll go to my BEM in architecture, open up my little window here. I should know better than to make it small. There we go. And to move it around, I just hold down my left mouse button to make it go up and down, back and forth, up and down, and these buttons make it get bigger. So here I am. I'm on my BEM in architecture, and I want to link to that particular slide, and then I'll just click outside of it. There it is. So now if I go to that link, it goes right to that slide. I think that's really cool. You can get right to that very specific one. So that's how I can set up each of these. I don't need to do that yet this week. You might wish to, but so long as by the end of this week, now I'm holding my control down and using my wheel. By the end of this week, I want to be to this point all the way around. And of course, energy analysis is optional. I'm expecting to see it for site work, foundations, flooring, building envelope, and roofing. That's what I'm expecting to see. Okay? Now, the easiest way to get this to show is to center it up, maybe make it a little bit bigger, center it up again. There we go. I'm gonna, might have made it just a little bit too big. Let me go one size smaller. There we go. I've got it. So you can print a PDF of that. That's right over here. Print, and you can set the page size. So I'm going to make it a custom. And look, this is really weird. It's in pixels. So I'm going to go to make it like a legal size or a ledger. And make it land, and I want it to show up on a single page. And I'm going to print as a PDF. And I'm not sure mine's going to show up because I'm not logged into VMware and all that kind of stuff. It may not show up as a PDF for me very well. But it should print this page for me. And that can be, if that's how far you've gotten, your submittal. Okay, so this week your submittal will be not too bad. Okay, the other way I suggested that you do it, if you don't want to do all of these that way, just see what it looks like here. Oh, that's interesting. Gives me all of that. I don't know why it didn't print the picture properly. That's real. I've never seen that before. That was a really interesting print. Save as a PDF. Let me print it. Where's my scale? Well, that's not doing so great. Pages per sheet. Letter, pages. I'm not sure why it won't let me there we go. That's how I get it down to fit on one page. There, now I got it. So that's how you can print it to a PDF if you want. The other way, of course, is you can take a snip of it and make it an image. You can do any kind of a screenshot, or you can print it like this. That would let me see how much work that you've got done. I wonder what that looks like. That's kind of, didn't make any changes at all. There we go. There I've got a print, and I can save it somewhere. Wherever you're saving your work. I'm not sure I have one on this computer. I could save it on my desktop for the moment. 300 final progress 1. Something like that. Okay. That's how we would go about getting this submittal done for this week. Okay, so that's what we've got for you today. Fairly straightforward. And we're just ready to go. There we go. I've got my print done. That's MindMeister. Now, if you have a different technology, as I said, you're welcome to use a different technology. Prezis work really well. There's a bunch of them out there. Just make sure it's something that I can get to. The other thing you can do, of course, is share this. There's the sharing link. And post that sharing link in your submittal in the dialog box. Then I can open it up and get right to it too. Okay, so there's another way to get it to me, which is really easy. I don't use Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. I wonder what this thing looks like. Publish the map. I don't even know. Oh, that's instantly visible on the internet. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to do this link to share. You may have to click this box, copy the link, put it in. And make sure that you're sharing settings. Anyone who has the link can either view or edit. Okay? So you can set all that up. It works just like all the other sharing permissions that you've got. All right, so that's it. That's what we've got for today. You've got your week 12. Oops, sorry about that. We're not on week 12. Week 15. And we just want your progress submittal. You know, there we go. I'll look forward to seeing your good work. And next week, we'll do a little bit more on how to create a presentation from this. And that will be part of your progress check number 2. All right. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch in with you next week.